What's up, Timmy Academy? I just wanted to show you. I just got back from the road. I've been on the road for about, almost a week and a half. Went down to Florida, then went up to Jersey to buy a bunch of collections, and this is what my office looks like right now. So, yeah, got a bit of sorting and putting stuff away. Ultra Pro had a Black Friday sale on top loaders. So if you missed out, it's a bummer because it was a really good deal. It's 35 packs. I got 120 of these, so like, I don't know, 4,000 something top loaders for 6 cents a top loader. So it was kind of like the old days. So yeah, I got a lot. That'll probably set me for a good 3-4 months, and hopefully by that time the top loader issue will be over. It's definitely starting to we're starting to see some movement on some top loaders, which is I'm assuming why they were on the sale. But yeah, I picked up a collection in oh man, where were we? In North Carolina. Like Greenville, North Carolina. Before we went up to Jersey, and that's where a lot of these binders came from. So we'll break that down and we'll record that, and then I got a very large collection in Florida. But I just wanted to show you how messy the office was, because there's just crap everywhere. So I just got back last night, hung out, had a couple drinks, and now today, this is what I gotta do. So anyway, we'll jump into. I'll get this cleaned up and we'll jump into breaking down the collections. What's up, Timmy Academy? This is what's today? Today is Thursday, I believe, December 17th, something like that. And this is going to be the first of the Jersey collections that I picked up over the last couple days. Drove up to Jersey on Tuesday afternoon. I had a large sale that I had to drop off to a guy in Jersey, about a $10,000 sale. And then I somehow found 3 collections in Jersey to kind of work out in that same timeline. So we did about 4 deals while we were up there. Came back, the cab of the truck was full of about 60,000 Magic cards. This is the last collection I picked up right before we left. Actually, on our way out of the state, we kind of swung by. There was a nor'easter coming through and a lot of snow, so we kind of skated out right as that was starting. And it was just the easiest one to film because it was just this binder and this small box. We've got a couple other ones. They were all in the range of about $1 to $2,000. This was the most expensive. This was cost me about $22.50. There were some sealed decks, a full set of Ikoria Commander and like 4 of the decks. So almost 2 full sets of Ikoria Commander, and then these singles. Some newer stuff, some older stuff. Just really a good mix. So some of this is going to be going into my personal collection, obviously. You'll see those when they come up, and a lot of them will be sold. So you know me, I love collections like this, where I can make my profit margin on these and then kind of stash, excuse me, whew, excuse me, and then kind of stash the older stuff like this Karma here in my collection. And so I wind up, breaking even, or making a small profit margin, but taking a majority of the profit in the actual cards. And a lot of these, the older alpha and beta stuff that's in this collection, are in pretty nice shape. Nothing like super beat up. There is... so what's weird is every guy that I bought a collection from in Jersey was named Anthony, which is kind of insane. It is just a weird coincidence. The guy I bought this collection off of was the last collection buy, and he goes by AJ. And I asked, and we were talking and chatting, and I asked him, "Oh, what's AJ stand for?" And of course, it was Anthony. And I started cracking up, and I was like, "You won't believe this, but I've done 3 deals in Jersey over the past couple days, and every single person who was selling the collection was named Anthony." So it's just kind of one of those weird, funny things. So this is the kind of the creme de la creme of the collection. I was duped about 1.5 years ago, in the early days of doing this. I got a collection that was, I think I paid $800 for it, and there was supposed to be some high-end cards in there, and they were all fake. It was this woman knew what she was doing. She gave me a sob story about it being a single mother, and her husband left, and he left all these cards, and I'm sure she knew they were fake. Yeah, it was a bummer, but whatever. I wound up just telling her, you obviously need the cash more than I do if you're scamming people and doing that. So, but I finally have a Beta Manivault. Really nice condition. The surface on the front is beautiful. There's some issues on the back, so I'd consider it like an LP minus, MP plus kind of deal. Maybe LP, but there's some indentations and scratching on the back that are less than my comfort level really calling it LP, but obviously, I mean, this isn't going anywhere. This is going in my personal stash, so I just thought that was super cool. He said he got it for about $15 back in the day. I think I paid him 70% of TCG low. This one doesn't have any sales data on TCG, so I actually pulled the pricing from some sold listings in similar condition on eBay, and I paid around $420, I want to say $450 on this, which I'm super comfortable with. It's that Black Border Mana. This is my first Black Border Manivault, and it's pretty beautiful. Not gonna lie, it's a nice card. So that was kind of the big, and then there's some other alpha and beta in here too. And you don't see collections like this very often, where there's brand new expeditions from Zendikar. We've got old inventions, brand new fetch lands that just came out in the last 6 months, and then we've got stuff like alpha and beta. So it was really nice. We got a little Arabian Nights Rook egg here, scroll rack, which you're finding these all over the place now. Jeremy, that's yours. Let me pull that out, set it aside right now. That's already sold. A friend of mine hit me up while I was gone, asking if I had one, and then and just so happened this last collection I found one. We've got some sword action here, some F&M promo, Eternal Witness, which is beautiful. I think this is also Therese Nielsen. She did another. Is that Therese? Yep, it is. Therese, if you ever see this video, I love your artwork. You're just, it's so beautiful. Ristic Study, and to me, she's right behind Hoover and Rush. That's right, there's Ristic Study. So yeah, we got some swords, we got some newer reprints, Grand Arbiter, a couple Cursed Scrolls. And when we sat down and we were talking, we were kind of grading. I was kind of grading the cards and showing him how I grade and everything. We had a long discussion on price over a couple days because he was using Delver TCG mid pricing, and I was like, I just can't. It's too. The algorithm is not. The right algorithm that I use for. I sell at TCG low, so I need the list to be at TCG low. So mid is hard. So we had it at mid, and I said I evaluated the Manivault separately and said I could probably do 50% of mid. And I did the math, and I said, why don't you set the list at low, and then and I'll do the math for low pricing, and my guess is it might be higher than mid, and it wound up being higher than mid. But we were talking about pricing, or talking about grading, because he was saying most of his cards are near mint, and a lot of the newer stuff is near mint, but the older stuff is played. And so we went back and forth for a few days on pricing, and eventually, there was no contention or hard feelings or anything. It was just he wanted one price, and I was like, I just can't. I can walk you through selling singles if you're trying to get as much money as possible, but I can't pay the price you want. So I essentially said, hey, when we were talking, I said, I'm leaving town in an hour. If you want this price, this is what I can do. And we came to a deal. I honestly did not think. I kept saying, the day before, I don't think I'm going to grab this last collection. I just don't think we're going to be able to come to a price deal. But we wound up doing it anyway. All that to say, we were talking about grading, and I pulled out a couple cards and I was showing them, and Cursed Totem was one of them. And it was funny because I was like, a lot of Mirage cards are in really good condition. The card stock that was used in, I'm assuming it's the Belgian printing, seems really resilient, and like the surface and just that, if you know Mirage cards and you know that there's two printings, you kind of know what I'm talking about. There's two different, so this is the US version, and it's moderately played. This is almost to the point of heavy played with the edge wear, and you can see those couple little ink dots there. But it was a great example because I was telling him that, and then as I pulled it out, I was like, oh, okay, well, this one's moderately played. But then there's another one right here. Hold on. I don't know. Oh, that's why. Couldn't figure out. I couldn't get it out of the sleeve when we were sitting there. But this one is the Belgian printing. You probably can't tell on camera the difference. But this one's beautiful, near mint. And it just seems like the cardstock that was used in that other printing is much more resilient. So that was I just wanted to say a little something about that. And then we also have, I thought this was interesting, and I know there's some premiums for some stamps. I don't know enough about the stamped market, but people collect these things. I guess they're stamped at GPs and tournaments and stuff. If anybody knows what the 112 stamp is, feel free to comment below and let me know what the deal is with that. This is a really nice condition, Sword of Light and Shadow. Man, that thing is pristine, beautiful. But we have a couple stamped cards, and he said he played tournaments, but I don't think he got these stamps. A couple Trinispheres. These obviously used to be big money, $45, $50. And then when they got reprinted in Double Masters, they just got crushed. Forbidden Orchards, I'm happy to have some of these because people often ask for Forbidden Orchards, and I almost never have any in stock. So that's cool. We got some more new expeditions from the new Zendikar. We've got an Alpha Samite Healer here. Pretty nice condition. No, the LP is not written on the card. It is LP though. It's actually it's a really nice LP. Little minor chipping over here, but the surfaces look great. And surface is really always my. I love a card with a crisp, clean surface. I don't mind chipping that much around the edges. Really, the surface to me is the most important part. We've got an Alpha False Orders over here, and from what I remember, this was in really nice condition too. Yeah, just beautiful. There's a little bit of, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but a little bit of a scratch or indent there. But otherwise, really nice surface. Alpha. So obviously that won't be going anywhere. I love these counter spells. That's the original art from ABU Revised. I think even 4th edition has this art of the dude with the weird fingers, or like not the weird fingers. It looks like there's like roots growing out of his fingers, but I guess it's supposed to be a spell fizzling. Like, oh, the look on his face. Look at his face. Oh, he looks so emasculated. It was just so funny. Ooh. Okay. But yeah, I like the foiled out original art. Yeah, it's a cool one. Couple thorns. Those are pretty decent money. Static orbs, Tutor. We got a Shannon Dryads. That's an alpha. She's pretty nice condition too. Yeah, like I said, all the alpha and betas, like, they're pretty decent. Look at that surface; it's beautiful. I'm just so happy to own these cards. We've got a Legends Revelation. It looks so much better in black border than it does in the Chronicles white border version, obviously. Minamo, Counterbalance. I mean, just some good, a lot of staples here. Cool Unlimited reverse damage. She's beat up, but you know, decent surface. Look at that back though. Ugh, rough. Another Minamo, a couple Strip Mines, Earthbind. Oh, Hoover. And I think I already uploaded the video with the playset of Earthbind Alphas that I got recently. But I just love Black Border Earthbind. It just gets me going. That chick is sexy too. Look at that. Ugh. Hoover is naked with mud all over her, tied up. Ugh. Sexy elf chick. Excuse me. Got another False Orders. This one's beta. Couple of the newer things. We got a feedback. Beta feedback. We got an alpha creature bond. I thought this was kind of cool. I don't think I've ever come across a foil Stubborn Denial. Some newer stuff. Balduvian Rage. That's a good foil. Sanctum or Iavugans. Original Rebuild. I actually did not check condition on this when I was there, and I probably should have, because it's actually really beautiful. Yeah, that's near mint. There's no clouding. There's a little bit of clouding. I'd probably call it near mint minus, but it's super crisp. There's just a touch of clouding around that black edge, but really nice. OG foil, first set foil, Urza's Legacy. I've been running into a few of those recently. Omnath and a Fog, so nothing too crazy. But like a lot of just good staples, obviously. And then this box also was with it, and this is a lot of newer stuff. It looks like he cracked a lot of Zendikar. M21. Yeah, they're upside down. I know. I can see. I can read. Just like lower end stuff. There's a couple Mana Confluence foils. Goblin Recruiter. There's the Mana Vaults again. Let's just run through this. Yeah, this is just newer. All this stuff will be pretty much just put up on Scheme Symmetry. Yeah? Anyone? Spiked to about $10 and then just fell back down instantly. Blasphemous Act. Yeah, all this stuff will just be put up on TCG Player probably tonight. I'll be doing a massive sales post with all the high-end cards. This is pretty much all the stuff from this binder and the high-end stuff from the other collections I picked up. I was able to put together on this trip, I brought up the kid that I had sold about 10 grand worth of cards to. He was planning on opening up a shop, which is why he was... Oh my god, what is going on here? Oh, don't tell me. Come on. Look at this. There's like sticky residue on a sleeve, and it's just sticking to the back of a card. Ugh, that's bad. Doesn't look like it affected the card at all, so that's good. These newer cards seem to be they hold up pretty well. That Bloodwind's got a little weird warp to it. Is that a new one? No. Anyway, throw that sleeve away. So the guy who I dropped that $10,000 set off to, which I sold at dealer prices because I was trying to raise capital for the large collection in Florida, which I'll be recording a video on, or releasing a video on soon. He was going to potentially purchase a full set of Revised off me, but then some life stuff happened, and I guess he's might be moving to a different country, and like changing plans. So I don't think he's going to be opening up a card shop. But anyway, long story short, the only thing that was missing was a Bayou, and I had a Badlands that he needed, so we wound up trading. Obviously, there was a little bit of price difference there, so I think I gave him a Badlands and a I haven't seen this in person yet. That's really nice. I gave him a Badlands and a Enlightened Tutor for the Bayou, and that completed my second Revised set. So I am probably selling the second one. It's in played condition. If no one wants to pick it up for the price that I'm looking for, I'll just hold on to it. But yeah, it was cool. I got to finish that off with the Bayou, and so it was a very successful trip to Jersey. This guy, Anthony, AJ, thanks a lot for the collection. I'm glad we could come to a determination on price. This is going to a very good home. You can be sure of that. It's not leaving my side. I'll sleep with it tucked under my pillow. And he needed the cash because he wanted to give his daughters a really nice Christmas. So I thought that was cool. And just one of those things, like I haven't really figured out the means of doing this yet, but I think next year I'm going to work into the budget and the kind of how all the numbers go. I'm going to work in actually let's turn the camera around for a second. I'll just film the last of this. Hold, please. Hey, there I am. Zoom out. So I think for next year, part of the equation of how this business works is gonna shift gears a little bit. I'm gonna crunch a lot of numbers and figure out, for people like Anthony, if you're watching, AJ, if you're watching, who is the other, Madison, who was in North Carolina, the first collection we picked up. We picked one up in North Carolina before we went up to Jersey. I'm going to build into the model a certain budget for the year for next year that I can pick up collections at a higher price point. Essentially a break-even price point for me, and do certain collections I'll buy at a break-even price point to help people out in tough situations. Madison sold me his collection because he needed to buy a car. I think his car died, and his wife had gotten in an accident. I think she was fine. I think she had some leg issue or something like that. But he needed to buy a car. And AJ wanted to treat his girls to a nice Christmas, and I wish I could pay higher, but that's just not how the model works. I've had videos explaining this. I work on a certain percentage basis to ensure that I make a certain profit margin on the collections that I purchase, and that fuels the business, because I do this as a business. This is my full-time job. But I don't see why there can't be room, say a $10,000 or $20,000 budget for the year, buying collections that I will break even on. And that would allow me to pay an extra 10% or so on a collection if someone's in a tight spot. You know, if someone needs to pay medical bills, or they just lost their job and need to pay rent. You know, the fact of the matter is, most people aren't selling their Magic collection because they hate Magic and they don't want to play anymore. You've got about a 50-50 split of, I just found my old cards from the 90s, they've been sitting in the closet, and I realized they're worth some money and I'm selling them. And life stuff came up. I'm an active player and collector, but I need to sell this in order to X, Y, or Z. So in that other category, for people who are in a pretty desperate situation, you know, and that can range from, I just need some extra cash to pay bills, you know, I could use a couple grand just to pay off student debt or whatever it may be. I've seen every scenario, you know, from helping someone to buy a house, helping someone to, you know, pay off student loan, helping someone to pay bills, but whatever it may be, there's a certain margin of people who really need the money in order to just make life happen for the next couple months. And I'd like to create a part of the business that I can pay a little bit more for those types of collections. So I'll keep you posted on that and what that looks like. Obviously there's room for people taking advantage of me in that scenario, and that's, you know, it would be a break even. It's not a charity thing. It's essentially just I'm volunteering my time in order to help you get the maximum profit out of your collection without having to piece it down, buy all the shipping supplies and everything like that. So I gotta crunch a lot of numbers and figure out what that price point is, what that percentage is. But I don't see why that can't be done 2 or 3 times a year. You know, and I've already kind of been doing that with certain cases, like the Greenville collection. You know, I think it was $1,700, and I think I probably broke even on it. But there was no list on that one. It was just kind of, I kind of took a look and was like, yeah, this looks like it's worth around $1,700. So just wanted to share that. There's going to be a flurry of videos over the next week, collection buying videos. I'm going to try and get some educational videos filmed too, but those are always kind of tough. You know, I've got a really cool video that should be funny and fun and informative, but it's going to take a little bit of editing, video editing, and some props and scenes and skits and stuff. So I gotta kind of coordinate with my roommate and buddy to get that done. But there should be some fun stuff coming. So keep an eye out. Love you all. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.